Oh, I hope we didn't erase.
This is amazing, and I'm speechless, but you know I'll find my words. Everybody keeps asking me how does it feel to be 40, and I'm watching my life go by on a screen. It's amazing. I remember my mother's 40th birthday, and I'm so excited to be 40. I think I'm freaked out that I have a 10-year-old. I can't believe he's 10. And I've spent a lot of the last week sort of reminiscing and being very melancholy, crying a couple of times, but happy stuff, just about what makes me me and how did I get to where I am, and I'm so thrilled with where I am. And I was thinking about it. I mean, my early years, my childhood, I'm the youngest of 3. You see my amazing sisters. And I spent so much of my childhood being schlepped with my mom, as she so eloquently put it, to Bubba and Zeta's and my great aunts and uncles, and she instills in me this sense of family and tradition that is so at the core of who I am, of doing everything from scratch. And it drives my husband crazy on the holidays, and he says, can't you just order it? But I have this sense of tradition of doing things the way that generations past have done them, and to me that is really at the essence of who I am. My teenage years or younger, I found my voice, and I realized that I was smart and that the use of language could allow me to get everything that I wanted. I tortured my parents. I was extremely argumentative, and I think that I just exhausted them to the point that they gave in and gave me whatever I wanted. My father just used to throw his hands up, and he just couldn't hear it anymore. I just wouldn't let go. And my 20s were amazing. They were where I learned how to be independent, and I was living in the city, and I got a job, and I was living on my own. Again, thank you, Daddy, because although I was independent,
Not that
independent I couldn't survive without that. But most importantly, in my 20s, I met my husband. I met Brian. I was 24, which is amazing, and it was love at first sight. I took one look at him, and we danced, and I left with my sister, and a lot of you have heard this before. He's walking out the door, but I literally that night said that I was going to marry him. I knew it immediately. And he's so much to me. He knows that I'm nuts for him, but he's given me so much. He convinced me to leave Wall Street, which was a saving grace, and to mentor me and give me the guts to start my own business, which I love that I have that of my own, and I've made that for myself. And my sisters, who have sort of seen me through everything, everything shifted in my 20s, and we became equals, and there wasn't any of that sibling nonsense. It wasn't as much about the order anymore. It was just we were all adults. And then my 30s came, and my 30th birthday was by far one of the happiest days of my life, because I took Harris home from the hospital on my 30th birthday. And I was a mom, and that was amazing. 2 years later, I had Isaac. 2 years after that, my beautiful Ruby, who's right up there at her baby naming. And I've spent the last 10 years struggling, but really trying to love them for who they are and not who I want them to be. In my 30s, I met some of the best friends that I look around this room and I just can't believe it, because you guys have shown me such support when I needed it the most, and when the road wasn't always so easy. It's like the 8th time today. You were there for me to pick me up and to help guide me through some challenging paths, and I know that more of that's down the road, but I'm not nervous, because I know I've got all these amazing women in my life to help navigate me through all that crap. I have to say something about my sisters, how it means the world that my sister Stacy came in. Nothing's quite the same without you. My sister Jill, who has been my best friend since I was a little girl. We didn't have that sibling nonsense. We're only 2.5 years apart. And in high school, she was the cool, gorgeous girl, and all the older boys paid attention to me because I was her little sister. And in our 20s, we partied together, we went out together, and she was there the night I met my husband, and we have sacrificed and given things to each other that the average sibling relationship doesn't have to go through. And I turning 40 and I finished my 30s, and she has a life for herself that is blossoming and blooming, and it just fills me up. It makes me really happy. And so here I am at my 40s. Those are my decades, and I'm excited. I'm so excited because it's been great up to now, and I know that with Brian by my side and all these great women here, pan the room, it's going to be great. So thank you so much for this.
Sounds like it was written.
Well, I've never been at a loss for words.
Never.
I've never been at a loss for
Never.
words. So
I could have kept hearing.
I said I'll always pull it together.
That was a movie.
That was great. On the spot, surprise.